He returned from the beyond to take back the dog. A strange tale. Joe Benson, of Wendover, Utah, was the spiritual leader of the Goshute Indians. He was always accompanied by a superb German shepherd he called Sky. When Benson became old and semi-blind, Sky acted as his guide and defended him from danger. But Benson's health continued to deteriorate, and one day, near the end of 1962, he announced to his wife Mable that he felt he would soon be dying. Mable warned his relatives, and shortly afterward, they were at his bedside. But, having now abandoned Indian traditions, they insisted that he be taken to the hospital in nearby Owyhee, Nevada. They ignored his protests and Sky's dull growling and had him admitted. Benson stayed at the hospital for only a short time. When the doctors saw that there was nothing left to do, they sent him home, where he died shortly thereafter, in January 1963. After the funeral ceremonies, several of those attending asked if they could have Sky. Mrs. Benson, seeing that the dog looked even more prostrate than she was from grief, felt it would not be right to give him up, and so she kept him with her. 10 days later, in looking through the window, he saw that someone was heading toward the house, so she lit the stove and made some coffee. When she looked up, a man appeared in the doorway whom she immediately recognized. It was her late husband. True to the traditions of his people, the woman gently told him that he was dead and had nothing to do in this world. Joe Benson nodded and simply said, "I'm leaving now. I went back to get my dog." He blew a whistle, and Sky, wagging his tail joyfully, came running into the kitchen. "I want my leash," Benson said. His wife detached it from a hook hanging on the wall and handed it to him, taking care not to touch the ghost. He fastened the leash to Sky's collar and walked out of the kitchen, down the stairs and down the path that circled the hill. After a few minutes of hesitation, Mrs. Benson ran to the other side of the hill. Of Joe and Sky, there was not even a shadow. Our Villa Benson. Urban, Joe and Mabel's daughter, who lived next door, witnessed the strange visit and confirmed it in a written and sworn statement, in these terms: "I saw my father enter the house, and not more than a few minutes later, I saw him leave with our dog on a leash. I saw my mother go after him, and, on impulse, I followed her. When I got to the top of the hill, my father and his dog were gone." In the days that followed, the young members of the family searched for the dog, but to no avail. It was as if Sky had vanished, with his beloved master, into another world.